Hey guys, how you doing? Danny again. Thanks for the opportunity to serve you once again. The topic we're talking about today is how should you lift in order if you want in order to grow muscle. So if you look at this, guys, it's a very sort of complex subject, and not a lot of people sort of understand this unless you study very closely and sort of seeing a few experts and sort of getting my experience up in my time in the industry. I've noticed one thing, and I always used to be a real heavy lifter. So I'd lift heavy weights. Like I think I got up to, at one period or point in time, I got up to 102.5 kilos on a bench press. I think I got my deadlift up to close to 150, and I got my squat up to about 120. And one thing I couldn't work out is why I still managed to stay reasonably sort of lean and not really gain a hell of a lot of size. And I sort of came to the conclusion that it's like, these genetics, like the genetics that I have, aren't really made to build muscle. So, but when I sort of dived a little deeper into things, what I actually realized is there's two types of hypertrophy. One is myofibrillar, which is the strips in the muscle, like that make it look really defined. They're very fibrous, and the fibers are very small within the muscle. So you don't tend to gain a lot of size by gaining a lot of myofibrillar hypertrophy, but you tend to gain a really defined look. So if you have a look at like you think, geez, you see guys in the gym that look really small, but geez, they can lift a heavy weight. They have got a lot of myofibrillar hypertrophy. They're really strong, and they pack a real punch, even though they're quite small. So yeah, that's one of the types of hypertrophy. But the one I'm sort of going for more so at the moment is sort of more a combination of both. Like the next one is what we call sarcoplasmic. So this is where you make the muscles sort of swell up and sort of look bigger. So if you look at it that way, like basically what you want to do is you want the muscles to swell up by doing a lot of reps and with a lot less rest in between, and dropping your loads back to, like 60 to 70% of what your maximum lifts would be in terms of the weights you're lifting. So instead of like lifting your 3 to 6, which is predominantly what myofibrillar hypertrophy sort of entails, you would lift sort of more your 10, 12, 15, 16 reps, and you would have a lot less rest in between. So, it's sort of a bit more go, rather than doing like 3 or 4 reps at max effort and then having a lot of rest. So, this is the differences here. So there's various things you can do, but I just wanted to clear up and get you guys to understand what the differences are between myofibrillar hypertrophy and sarcoplasmic. And depending on which one you're going for, you might be one of those guys who's hasn't had any trouble gaining size, and you just want to get a bit more definition. Then, myofibrillar hypertrophy will probably be for you. But if you're a guy like me who's a bit leaner and a lot more defined, and you want to gain a bit more size, then your sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is definitely the one to go for. So, it depends really on what you're going for, but I hope I cleared up a few things for you there, guys, and understand what your goals are. So remember, your myofibrillar hypertrophy is more for, just say either 1, athletic performance, or 2, for the bigger guy who doesn't have trouble gaining size but wants a bit more definition. And your sarcoplasmic hypertrophy would be for a guy that's sort of a similar build to me, who's quite lean and defined but has a little bit more issues with putting on size. So that's the type of thing your sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is going to be for. So if you want sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, less rest in between, so anywhere from a minute to a minute and a half, cut your weights back, do more reps, put more stress on the muscle as well. This is really important here, because when it comes to putting stress on a muscle and you're wanting it to grow like in a sarcoplasmic way and getting it to swell up, then you need to put it under a lot of strain. And this, you have to concentrate on putting strain on the muscle. You don't necessarily need to lift heavy weights to get big, guys, and that's what I want you to understand. Is you can literally have, like, I could close my fist like this and I sort of tense up and and move. You can see I'm straining a lot, yeah? So, I mean, it just goes to show that you don't necessarily need a heavy weight to grow. So, be smart about it. Put stress on the muscle if you're looking to bulk up in a sarcoplasmic kind of way. And, you know, if you're looking to gain a bit more myofibrillar hypertrophy, more heavy lifts, more maximum effort, and longer rest. Cheers.